Okie doke, so we thought we'd show you, we got a nice little bream as well. We thought we'd show you how I fillet a bream, just because it's a really common fish. Everybody gets them, so it's...
And they're a bit small, and it's a little bit difficult to get the maximum amount of flesh off of them. You can.
It really is, it really is. Funnily enough though, I actually find it easier to do these than I did the salmon, but anyway. So, same again, good sharp knife. Now this is pretty much going to be the same way that I did the salmon. So I come along and just come along the shoulder here, underneath. Now some people like to scale it. I don't bother when I'm skinning it, but that's just my own personal preference. Come down into your feel bone. If it's going to cut, there we go. Okay. Now, starting from the top, I use just a small cut to start with. Scales do get in the way, but you get over it. Just to open it up. Now you can feel the knife running along the bones. You don't want to push down too hard, because with a nice sharp knife you will actually cut through the bone. Until you get down to the tail. And then same as I did with the salmon, once you actually get a good run at it, you can open it up. Now this here has a nice bumping over the bones. You can actually feel it. Same as I did with the salmon, all the way through. Off she goes. In through the spine. Now there's the rib cage there that I can feel. Straight down to the bottom. Let's pierce that out. Cut that off. Now it does help to pull the meat back as you're filleting it. Allows you to just run through the bones, run over the bones a lot easier. So now this here is the tricky bit, getting up over the rib cage and getting it to slide along the ribs without actually cutting the ribs out. And there we are there. So that's your fillet. Now that's pretty much running down through this section of the fish. So what I'm going to do now is flip it over, because there isn't much meat between there and there. Now there is a bit on the wing there, yet again, same as all fish, but I'll just get the knife and just follow it along there.
The remainder is a crab pot bait essentially.
That's it. And there is one nice little bream fillet. So you've got the rib cage. Now there is a little bit of bone left on the, little bit of meat left over the bone, but like we were saying, that's going to go as crab pot bait, so it's not going to get wasted. Now these here, like I said, I find it a lot easier to do these. As you can see, this is a lot cleaner of a frame than the what is it? The salmon. That's right, salmon. Anyway, so we'll flip it over. Do same again on the other side. Find where the bone is. Come in.
Can't get annoyingly close.
That's all right. And then just a little shallow cut to start with, without cutting hardly in the belly.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
So running it along, and you can feel it just run along the bones. Now if you don't scale it first, you will get scales on the tip of your knife, and you'll have to rub them off every now and again because it gets a pain in the ass. But that's all right. You do kind of get used to it. So now we've started it, and same again. Just run your knife down until you can feel it bumping over the bones.
Can you hear the dogs in the background? Let us in, there's fish coming.
They can smell the fish too.
Yeah, we decided to let Lily have a look at the crab, and she decided she wanted to eat it.
Yeah, she wanted to chew it before we did. It's like, no, Lily, this is our crab. Same again, peeling it back just allows you to get in there a bit better. Pop it out the other side, all the way down to the tail.
You know, I gotta admit, Lily is the greatest boat dog ever. She would make a great camping fishing dog. I can't leave Nugget by herself, and Nugget's a bit bulky and heavy.
Yeah, she doesn't quite do as good in the boat, poor thing.
No, she hides under you, but Lily gets on the chair. She's leaning over the edge of the boat to see what's happening behind you. How's it? Episode? I don't even remember what number now, but episode with the family. I think I called it.
Yeah. So same again. Run along until you start getting to the rib cage. And once you're at the rib cage, put a bit more of a cut here. That. And that allows me to peel it up. Little bugger gets a bit fucking slimy.
Probably didn't help my camera was in the way for the majority of that one.
Ah, that's alright.
Well, we have some good material here to stink up the lunchroom for tomorrow.
Oh, it's gonna be good. Same again, now I've gotten here, so I'm just gonna come straight across the fish because there's not much meat over that rib cage. And there's your second brim fillet. Now these ones, because they're a smaller fillet, I'm just gonna use this same knife. Now that there, I've got to admit, is a pretty damn clean brim frame.
Yeah.
If I do say so myself.
Pure crab pot bait.
So that's good. I mean, there's a lot of meat left on there, like I was saying. That's quite a big chunk of meat. These do have a little cheek fillet, but not as good as the salmon. And you still do have a good chunk of meat left on the head there as well. So when you whole bake a fish, you can eat all of this. If you're Kiwi, you eat the eyes too, but we're not, so we won't. So anyway, that can go in the bag. That's crab pot bait. Thanks for coming. All right. If I can skin it without fucking it up. Getting it started is always the hard part. So same again, you want to put a good amount of downwards pressure onto the board, and then you just gently saw it backwards and forwards. Now I did resharpen this knife before I did it, so there's a high possibility I'm going to take a chunk of skin off. If I don't, I'll be surprised.
I think you did.
Holy shit. And there we go. One beautifully skinned and filleted brim.
Now, as you can see, you need a little bit of a... You need a couple of them to have a nice feed.
Yeah, you do. I mean, you can eat that. Bang, bang. That's enough for one person. But if you're going to be feeding more than one, you kind of want a few more than just one brim. I usually get, 3 or 4 brim, and I'll cut them up into chunks. Now these ones here do have a bone line down there. Did I leave a couple of the ribs in? No, I didn't. Okay, so same again, you just feel until the bone line stops. And then I cut down one side of it. Now, like I said, with the salmon, this isn't going to get 100% of the bones out. Like sometimes you will. Sometimes you'll get 100% of the bones out. But you've got to basically treat all fish as it's going to have at least 1 or 2 bones in it. Eat it carefully, chew it, and you should be right. And then bang, bang, and there's your little bone line out of the center. Now that there actually feels like I got all of the bones out of that. So there's one little brim fillet, one little, 2 little, 3 little brim fillet.
We'll save. We won't do the other one on camera because we got little memory left.
Yeah, righto.
Well, that's how you do a small fish like brim.